Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, here is your tarot reading for Aries season. If you're expecting me to say for the week ahead, well, surprise, you need to go and check out the channel update as to find out why. And as ever, take what's helpful, leave what isn't, and always get the messages to fit into your life rather than the other way around. Anything else I need to say? Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave an emoji or a comment below, all of that good jazz. So we start off with the Knight of Wands, a lovely, lovely energy, particularly to see moving into Aries season. There's certainly a bit of an overlap by this big fiery energy. I think, if memory serves me correctly, the Knight of Wands is officially ruled by Sagittarius. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But certainly this big fiery energy, feeling full of oomph, of excitement, enthusiasm, motivation, and the drive to move forward. Something I've been saying to a couple of the signs is that Aries represents the zodiacal new year. It's the first house. It's the beginning of the astrological cycles. And for me, it's a much more appropriate time for a new year. We're starting to move into spring, things are burgeoning, things are opening up a little bit. January seems a very, very inappropriate. It's not quite the right word, but I can't think of the right word. But yeah, it doesn't seem to make much sense to me that the depths of winter would represent the new beginnings. So why I'm saying this is that gusto, that looking forward, wanting to move forward with a renewed vigor, with a renewed energy, certainly taking hold there. Knight of Wands also represents travel. Our minds might be just starting to move to broadening our horizons. Maybe there's literal travel for you this month, Gemini. But certainly feeling more expansive and more adventurous. The Knight of Wands very, very much around the energy of adventure. And it's nice because there's almost a saying here or something that doesn't necessarily, for other star signs I've been talking about, making a plan, making sure that that drive and that motivation is moving forward in alignment with a long-term goal or a long-term plan. Here, I would just say enjoy that. It doesn't matter if things feel a little bit bitty, that you're doing things a little bit piecemeal, that there isn't necessarily a set out plan. I would really encourage you this season, Gemini, to lean into this place of fun, of spontaneity, of enjoyment, of doing things off the cuff just because they feel right, because they excite you, because they, because there doesn't need to be necessarily a deep, meaningful reason behind your actions this season, particularly if you felt at a slight stalemate for a while or things have felt a little bit stagnant for a while. I would encourage you to be a bit more of a pleasure seeker because of this wonderful combination between the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Cups, the Lord of Satisfaction, the trophy room, just really doing things that derive you pleasure. Obviously, we have to be slightly mindful that that isn't at the expense of ourselves or other people, that we are considering, that we're not lording it over people as such. But it's a time to be living in the present, ultimately. Interestingly, we've got a triptych of 3 cards that appeared for Capricorn, but for Capricorn, these cards all arrived upright. For you, they're all in reverse, with the Justice, the 5 of Cups, the Lord of Loss of Pleasure, and the Devil card. Really, really great to see, particularly the 5 of Cups and the Devil in reverse here. There seems to be, particularly born out of this expressive, expansive, playful energy, of the Knight of Wands, this is something that is going to lift you out of perhaps those slightly heavier feelings. For those that live in particular parts of the world, those heavier days, those darker days starting to lift and feel brighter, but also overcoming emotional challenges that have presented themselves. There is sometimes a danger with the Knight of Wands that there can be an impulsiveness or an attitude of, to hell with it, to hell with the consequences. That isn't necessarily useful. There is a time when, sometimes when things feel totally out of control or feel totally at the whims of things that are seemingly out of our control. And I talk particularly about the political stage, the geopolitical stage. There can sometimes be an unuseful feeling of, well, we can't do anything anyway, so what's the point? That you need to guard against. Ensure that you don't slip into that point, because we can always do things. There's that wonderful story of the Amazon is on fire and a monkey watches a bird drop a single droplet of water over the fire, and the monkey laughs, saying, what's that ever going to do? That's not going to put out the fire. And the bird says, yeah, I know, but at least I'm doing my bit. And it is really important that each of us are doing our bit and guarding against a sense of despondency, actually. So yes, I want you to cultivate an impulsiveness, an excitement, a freedom, but not if it's being born out of, well, we're going to hell in a handbasket anyway, so might as well party while we do it. That is not true, nor is it helpful. But as I mentioned there, the fact that we've got these kind of darker energies that are in reverse seem that they're certainly dropping away. So Aries season is very likely to come with a high degree of relief, a high degree of lightness. That's the nice thing to say. We have the Justice card in reverse. This is the only one that I see that I go, it does give me reason to pause. Justice is about fairness, it's about equality, and the fact that it's showing reversed is indicative of one of two things, I would say. Partly, it's funny, yeah, because we've got it, there is an overlap, strangely, between the Justice reversed and the Devil reversed. We've got these two pillars in the Justice and Adam and Eve in the Devil, so the main protagonist being flanked by these seeming opposing forces. Justice reversed could indicate the fickleness, dare I say it, there is a fickle nature within the sign of Gemini. So make sure that you're delivering on your promises, make sure that you are not kind of shirking responsibilities or just that kind of despondent energy that I mentioned before. Make sure that the Justice card reverse will express itself in one of two ways. Either you feel that things are happening unfairly, unjustly, and feeling the kind of sting of that, either on a local level or on a larger level, and that can be somewhat uncomfortable. Or it could be that you're not being mindful enough about the consequences of your actions or what you say. This is reiterating and re-emphasizing this sense of when we... I heard it I had a client recently who said, my favorite description of the word stupidity is not asking what would happen next. It's taking action, doing something, and not thinking, what will the implications be? What will happen next if I do that? And this is a question to be asking yourself this season, Gemini, of going, if I say this, what would the consequences be? If I do this, what would the consequences be? Because of this Knight of Wands energy that wants you to be gallant, wants you to be adventurous, wants you to be in some ways impulsive, and that's fine for all the reasons that we've spoken about, but not to such a degree where you're saying what you like, doing what you like, not in awareness of those that are around you. The Justice card is ruled by Libra, whose mantra is I partner or we harmonize. So it is very much aware about the consequences or the interplay between you and other people. And this is particularly true on those that you feel have wronged you or haven't perhaps treated you with the respect that you'd expected. Yes, everybody needs to be treated with respect, but there may be a feeling for a want of vengeance or a wanting to sting. And there's a gentle encouragement here of no, take the upper hand, think about the consequences, and very much treat everybody as though as you would want to be treated. But other than that, all looks good. There is definitely this renewed vigor, which is really lovely to see, because I know that there have been some challenging readings in the past for you, Gemini. So that's my reading. Does that help? Does that resonate? If so, let me know in the comments below. You'll also find in the comments below a way to find your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign for a full 360 look at the season ahead. There's something else I was going to say. Yeah. But until next time, oh, you can also sign up to the email notifications through that link as well, so you never miss your Tarotscope again. But until next time, see you then.